So here is Ragoya and EJ, who are two of our folks who have brought us broken things today. These are all of your volunteer fix-it coaches. Have you ever had so much attention in your life for your broken thing? We are all so excited that you brought us some broken things. There are more people coming to help us out here, and I'm going to admit a couple more people. Very cool. How to do this? So normally, we welcome people into our clinics, we pair them up with their coaches, and they go off and do their thing. This is not normal. So I think what we're going to do here is pick someone and have you show us your broken thing, and then we'll go from there. And here we are. So let's see. Ragoya, your video is working very nicely. Why don't we start with you?
Okay.
And let me, let's go. Well, welcome to the first intergalactic Fix-It Clinic. And Ragoya, you're calling in from Indonesia.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Thanks for joining us. Hello, EJ. We'll get to you in a sec. Tell us about your broken thing.
Okay. Matter of fact, I have it here now. I will show you. Here it is.
All right. This is not a toaster.
iPad.
It's an iPad. Okay.
It's an iPad Air one.
Okay, I'm going to temporarily move. Let's see. I'm going to make that screen bigger so I can see yours. Okay. And
the battery looks kind of dented.
I see a dented battery too. Tell us about what this thing was working.
So I decided to walk with this iPad in the rain. I know it's a stupid thing, but I do it anyway. And then it cannot turn on. The battery doesn't work. And then I go to the technician, and this is what I get. He opened it, and look how horrible it looks like now.
So you have some corrosion from the water and things like that.
Okay, but she took something. I think she took the IC. The IC is gone.
Oh, they took a part.
Shouldn't there be a metal plate covering the CPU and processor?
He took it too.
Oh, well, I shouldn't say you need it, but it should be there.
Yeah, he took it too, and then he just gone. I cannot find him anymore, so I left with this thing, and I want to fix it by myself.
A bit sketchy, if I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard to get those parts.
I mean, the person you brought it to fix.
Yeah, very sketchy. Yeah, I mean, maybe now that this thing is missing parts, it becomes, the organ donor to give its parts to other iPads to make them better. Do you have another iPad as well? I think when you signed up, you said you had more than one.
Well, actually, my daughter also broke this iPad. This is iPad Air 2. And stupidly, I bring to the same guy. So he took the part also from this iPad.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I see also.
So same issue.
Yeah.
Also water damage.
I tried to find in internet, and they sell logic board for iPad Air 1 and iPad Air 2. So do you think if I buy it and I install it, it will work again?
Wow, but that might be just as expensive as buying a used working iPad, right?
Yeah. Apple products are usually harder to fix due to the fact that there's a lot of proprietary components.
Yeah.
But I find in website how they fix it actually in iFix.com, and it's quite easy. It looks like easy.
Well, I mean, that's, all of the portable devices like this are kind of the same thing. They're hard to open it up, but you can learn how. You can buy replacement parts. You want to make sure they're good quality ones, because there are bad parts out there. And because these things are so popular, there are good videos. I mean, definitely love this things on iFixit, especially the ones that, you know, have been developed over time, where people have refined what other people have. It's quite amazing. But yeah, I just be very careful about the trade-off between the price of the parts versus just buying something that's used and works, right? And I guess this has very much to do with your local market, right? Like, but I don't know, sketchy, if that word translates well for you. A guy who repairs things and says, I can't repair it, but keep some of the parts, is not our friend.
I don't think you can even do that. You're supposed to return all the parts as it came.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. But this is an independent shop. This was not the Fifth Avenue, New York City iPhone store, right? Apple store.
No, it's not even an iPhone, an Apple store.
Not an Apple store, yeah.
I was just saying that I think for both of those iPads, getting a used one is like a better deal than trying to repair both of them, because there's a lot of missing parts. They're proprietary. They're not like shared between multiple devices. It's really difficult to find those in like good condition.
Absolutely.
And they're expensive.
And the water damage, you know, may not be repairable at this part, right? I mean, has anybody ever had an approach of water damage happened a long time ago and you used some solvents or whatever and had success?
The trick with the water damage is you don't know how far or how, you know, where it went in and got and what, you know, circuits it crossed, or, you know, did it actually cause issues beyond, you know, kind of the visual that we're seeing, you know, short of taking every piece out. And that, you know, that's, you know, taking an iPad or an iPhone apart for me is very scary, but I'm not that skilled in it. But I'd be very, very concerned that there is a lot more damage that we don't know about just because of the water infiltration.
Yeah, I mean, the scary thing about the water damage is, you know, water plus anything else is a conductor. And the tiniest thing bridges two lines, and that's the end, right? And can you push it out? Can you clean it? Who the heck knows, right? So
that's what happens usually is that with water damage, you short something out, and then that burns out an IC, and then the whole thing is toast. And you're not going to ever replace an IC unless, you, of course, you have a fab available to you, but most of us don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since we're talking about Apple products, what I always do, I buy them used or refurbished, and you get a good deal on it because they are of such high quality. So you can get them from eBay and stuff like that. So all my Apple products, from iPhone to iPads to iMacs to what have you, I always buy them used or refurbished, and I never had bad results for that.
Yep. So Ragoya, I think you're getting some pretty consistent advice from people. It's a scary proposition to buy parts and then not have them work, right? Then you have a part that you probably can't return and still a non-working Apple device. So
now these parts, these iPads are not totally useless. You can use them for a training experience. You can practice taking them apart to see that when you approach your next project like this, what you did wrong and what you did right.
Yes, I was going to say the same thing. I think this is a great, if we go the other direction, rather than the objective is to have this working again, but be the learning experience of taking something apart and seeing how it all fits together and everything else.
Yes, I can agree with that.
Two great opportunities, and there may be some parts that someone else could use at the end of the day on this. But I'd encourage in that direction.
And you have two different iPads. There's an Air 1 and Air 2. I don't know if any of there's compatible parts, but maybe there's some way to build one working one out of the two of them. I don't know that. I mean, that's a project I don't understand. But so yeah, so you
Wayne.
Yeah.
There is also, you were talking about water damage. I remember some videos from iFixit and Gisa Jones that she was repairing some logic board by doing something with to repair the water damage. But it was a complicated process, And she was doing even micro soldering that requires some skills. That's
Microsoft.
It's not for everyone.
No. So Ragoya, you have presented to us, the classically difficult problem, right? How do I replace my battery? Awesome, we know how to do that. How to replace my screen? Yeah, also cool. Component level compare with unknown damage from water plus a repair guy who took some of your parts. Wow. Wow, tough problem. But if people have ideas after the meeting, we know how to get in touch with you, Ragoya, or if you have other feedback, like maybe go back to your sketchy guy or find someone who's not so sketchy. I wouldn't go back to the sketchy guy. I'm scared.
Oh, don't do it.
Does sketchy make sense to you? Does that word work for you, sketchy? Like,
Yeah.
I think is what we're
Suspicious
saying.
is another one.
Suspicious, yeah. Anyway.
I would just comment that Ragoya is also like the perfect participant, someone who is confident, she's taken things apart, she's willing to go to the next level. And so we may not be able to help on this one, but if she finds other stuff around or we can be a further help on this one, it'd be great.
Absolutely.
And one of the things, just as we kind of wrap up, maybe one of the things, if you do get a used iPad, you may find one that really has a shot battery. They tend to go. And so it may be in physically good condition. The battery only lasts an hour or two maybe. And so the batteries that you have in one of those units may be good enough that you can then use that as a repair, and that's usually one of your big kind of cost items. So you might be able to get one for relatively cheap if it has a bad battery in it. If they show you that it does charge and that it turns on, but the battery life isn't good. So again, keeping those batteries and kind of keeping an eye on them and how they're connected together can really be a benefit for you when you're looking at a used market for one that's going to be much more affordable in the future.
Okay. All right. Great. Ragoya, thank you for joining us. Feel free to hang on. And if other people think of other ideas while we're going, that's great. But I want to move on to the next project then. So very cool. All right. So one of my challenges here is I see a bunch of people and I can't readily tell who's got a broken thing for us. I'm looking at our sign up sheet and I'm not matching the names perfectly here. So Jennifer is waving her hand. Jennifer, unmute yourself and please tell you an EJ. Yes, you have your name. Jennifer, let's tell us about your broken thing. You are muted. We can unmute you.
There we go.
Hi there.
I've never done Zoom on the iPad, so I'm not. Anyway.
You have a working iPad. Oh, would you sell it to Ragoya in Indonesia? She's in the market.
No. I think I'll keep my iPad here in the US.
Nice.
So I bought a table and chairs for $50 on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
Finish, and that's not my question. But one of the chairs I got was in, let's see if I can, no, all I can see is there's my 9-year-old. She's also not part of the question. Although if you can tell me how to parent effectively, I would appreciate that too. So this piece, this leg comes off. It's broken. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a very good job with the camera. There we go.
Keep talking. I'm going to go get some glue. Just a sec.
Oh, wait, there should be a support in between those two, right in between. Like you see on the back there's another, like a bar that goes between the two, sides of the chair. Oh, wait, did you remove that one?
This one.
Oh,
Yes.
no, not that one. The other one.
This.
No, a little higher.
Triangle piece.
The triangular looking piece.
Right in the corner.
Yeah, right in the corner.
Nice.
I was thinking there should be one of those on every corner. Isn't that right to keep it supported?
Yes, I have those.
Okay, good.
Okay.
But I don't know how. So.
Oh, wait, one of the wooden dowels just broke off.
Uh-huh.
Right. And
One
so
of those broke off.
Is it worth, what would I do, and is it worth doing it?
I'm not sure. I'm not an expert in wood.
You have
Here's what you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to probably break off both of those dowels and then drill them out and then get a new dowel to put it in there.
Whoa.
Whoa, partner. Okay, so, and the other thing is that after you drill it out or before, you want to sand the surfaces flat so that it's joining surfaces, so they're both flat.
Right.
And you also probably want to sand off the finish there, because your glue, whatever glue you use, won't connect very well if there's a finish on it.
Right.
Okay. So now, okay, the new dowels that you put in probably won't be tight, but you would like to have them tight. Typically with a dowel, you drill the hole, and then you put the dowel into the hole, start it into the hole, and take a little hammer and tap it fully into place. Now, okay, so now we have our dowels in, we're ready to go to put it back together. Here's a trick that I learned, is that they have these tie-down straps. And you would put a tie-down strap all the way around, and then preparing it for the surface where you're going to glue. Right, exactly. And then you get things started, and then you use that tie-down strap to crank it in, get it really tight. And that fixes it really well. Now, you can do a similar thing on those angle pieces that you're going to be putting back in. Clean it all up before you glue it, and then put your tie-down wrap around those, and then crank them into place. And then you'll have a great chair. Thing about Gorilla Glue, somebody showed Gorilla Glue. I learned the very, very hard way that Gorilla Glue is actually a very toxic chemical, particularly to your skin. You don't want to get it on your skin. I learned this lesson just recently. I got a lot on my skin. It took weeks for it to come off, and then I had a chemical burn on my hands for a few weeks. It's really nasty stuff. So, but boy, does it ever hold well.
Yeah,
Don't clap.
Yeah. The awesome thing about it is you've drilled out the hole for the dowel, and you bought some new dowels. I was just looking for mine. I don't know where they are. Yeah, just like Doug has right there, Douglas. It may not fit perfectly, right? So there'll be some gap. If you fill it with Gorilla Glue, as Gorilla Glue cures, it expands, it gets foamy and fills the gap. But they get all over the place. So put on some protective gloves. We all have those now, don't we? And wipe it off with a paper towel as it's oozing. Otherwise, you have a big cleanup problem. But it fills the gap nicely. But otherwise, if you're doing new work, Tight Bond is this way is one of the glues that work really good on wood, and it cleans up with water, and it does not bond to your skin for a lifetime. So the question is how close. But you've got multiple joints here, right? You got the dowels plus that angle piece.
Right.
Hold the joint together. You want to make sure that when you have guests in your house again, they don't fall to the floor because your repair job was questionable. So solid joints. And a tie-down strap is great with the ratchet, to put things on your car.
Yep.
One of the things we also use in the Boulder You Fix It Clinic is old tire tubes. So take an inner tube, get it around there, twist it with a stick or something, and hold it in place. At our clinics, we actually bring a pile of those from our own recycling bins at EcoCycle, and we send people home with a tire tube. Congratulations, you now have a clamp, and you can use it. Because one of the problems of bringing things to a clinic and gluing them is you have to take them home and they're not set yet. So you want to keep them solid, and we don't like to give away our clamps. Generous we are, but they don't have infinite numbers. So inner tubes are great. Twist them around, hold it together. Awesome stuff. Anything else, Jennifer? Are you clear on this at this point? You've got a drill?
I do. I have a very extensive workshop.
Oh.
It's not is the know-how. So would you, one more question about the structural piece of this chair. This support is missing. I did not get it from the person I bought the chair from.
Can't see.
This support.
Can't see it.
Yeah, which one?
Sorry. Where are we? So where's my hand? Sorry, I'm terrible at this. So
Yeah.
there would be support from here to
That's
here.
all right.
On
Between the
cross-
legs.
Yeah,
between
the
the legs.
crossbar.
Yeah.
And I
that's
don't.
something with, there's one that works on the other side. I'm not seeing it.
There is one that works on the other side.
Okay. So you can fabricate a piece of wood the same length. It's also held in with dowels, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, pretend you're making a new chair. What's the length and size of that? Cut it down. Drill some holes for dowels. I mean, if you want to get good at this, there are jigs you can buy for your drill that let you drill in perfectly straight for dowels, so both sides line up. Because if you just sort of eyeball it, it's not going to work. But those are really fun. They're expensive, but then you become the dowel repair person for your neighborhood.
There's also,
Yeah.
you can get some very inexpensive little dowel centers
Yes.
that are small round things that one end fits inside the dowel and the other has a point. And so you put the end into the dowel hole and then stick whatever else you have, and it provides a point where you can then start your drill and goes exactly the right place.
And then, of course, there's the holding your drill perfectly
Yeah,
straight
yep.
problem, which
Right.
if you have a drill press is great, or a drill stand. But yeah, these are good investments. I wish we were at the Boulder Public Library right now, because the most awesome wood shop there has all the things to do this. So we fixed a lot of chairs like that. But
Right. Well, I was thinking to bring it in there. I can live in Louisville,
yeah,
but we're not allowed to go anywhere. So
no, that's the
There's something we should, something we might consider is something like Santa Rosa, California has, and it's a tool library, and you go in and check out tools.
Yep.
This is a great resource.
Yes.
right. There's one of those in Boulder too.
Yeah.
I don't know that I right now.
It's right next door to EcoCycle
Right.
Resource, the tool library. I'm sure they have drill presses, but these are not very expensive things. And not only can you fix stuff, but you can go off and make stuff. Right. So having some tools that make things square and the right angle and joints are strong makes you an awesome maker. So, the real goal of this program, right? The world needs more makers. Very clearly now, the world needs more makers. And if you're not yet a maker, be a fixer. If you haven't fixed anything yet, fix something pretty easy. Ragoya, with all due respect, iPads, hard. Chair legs, easy, right? But maybe you'll get there, right? I mean, you might become the micro soldering person that the world needs, because they're in big demand. But
A couple more thoughts on the dowels. So
yeah, sure.
most home improvement stores either sell dowels in about a 1 meter or 3 foot length in various diameters, or you can get packages of the ones that the chair came with originally that have the fluted area to get more glue in there. And you can take the long ones and make them, you want to have a little bit of bevel at the end so they slip in rather than being cut off completely. And then on the drill press side, I have a very old, they may not make these anymore, but a little drill press stand that takes a portable drill. And so rather than getting the whole assembly, you can just have this little thing that you put your regular drill in, and it allows you to drill much straighter than most of us would do otherwise. Yeah.
Right. Awesome.
This is the drill press stand. You attach your drill to here, then you have this thing that holds things at 90 degrees or other angles.
Yeah.
These are pretty cheap, and turns your investment in a nice lithium-ion coreless drill into something that can drill things at right angles or whatever angle you want. So that's
quite useful. How much is one of those?
I don't know. I got it for $1 at a garage sale.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Might do some research.
It's going to be more expensive. It has a bigger chuck. This, I think, has only a 3/8.
3/8?
Yeah, but good for most of your bits. It also has some points that screw in down here, so you can hold it securely into the thing you're drilling. It's a great.
I'm also using those. I've made like a custom base for it to fit on odd-shaped things. So, like I had curved surfaces that I needed to drill perpendicular holes into. And so you can attach things to the bottom of it to make it fit on different shapes. Like drilling into the end of that skinny little stick connect between the eggs is not going to work. Between the legs, it's not going to work with that because there's nothing to rest it on.
That's right.
If you make a little square of plywood on the bottom and cut a hole in it where you want the hole to be, then it'll all work out.
So Steve, where do you live? Are you in Boulder?
I live in Piedmont, California.
Oh, never mind.
He used to live
in Boulder long ago.
That's why we know each other. And it's Burl's fault for introducing me to Peter in Berkeley, who said, "Oh, Berkeley has a fix-it clinic. How come Boulder doesn't?" Thanks, Burl. You changed my life.
No problem, Wayne.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been fun. Great working with you guys. So I actually have a very inexpensive drill press I bought from Harbor Freight, just like Real Tools. You know, if I was running a machine shop, a wood shop, it would not be the right choice. But for the occasional repair, it works fine. And you know, they're under $100, and for that project, you know, perfectly good. And you'll find that there are lots of things that you're using a hand drill for that you really should be using a drill press, because the alignment and the depth is something you want to control. So another thing to add to your creative abilities. That's really.
I just sold a drill press for my father-in-law. Gah!
Yeah. Well, nice.
I use a device called a drill guide, and it's just a series of holes in about that thick, and the holes go this way, and there goes to about a 3/16 all the way up to 3/8 holes, and you put your drill in there, and it gets flat on there. I've been much more successful with that than the portable drill press that you've just shown. But then again, I'm not very coordinated, so.
So just to let everybody know, so there's an active chat thing going on. We're all talking out of band to each other, which is great. So if you haven't clicked on the chat, do that. You're getting advice from low-cost drill presses on Amazon from Brian. So awesome. And Jonathan has some more advice about iPad stuff. So everybody look at the chat. I will save the chat when we're done and put that somewhere with the artifacts for the meeting. Any more advice for Jennifer and her dowel problem? All right, Jennifer, you can put yourself back on mute, and if something else comes along the way, we'd be glad to talk more. But thank you for bringing us a fun challenge and a good example of something we can all learn from, because that was great to hear the other coaches' advice on how to deal with this, because I learned something new too. And I'm going to be really careful with Gorilla Glue. Thank you. Yikes.
Yes, thank you for your advice. I think I'll sign off. I have this 3-year-old futzing about me, so I think I'll just sign off. But I will look for the record. Will this be recorded and posted somewhere?
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna probably we're gonna maybe save these as YouTube videos. I don't know why anyone would want to watch this if they weren't involved in it, but Peter and I will think about something. I think we're trying to demonstrate to people that we can help each other even if we're not in the same room. That's really what this is about. So, Jennifer, thank you.
Thank you.
And hope to see you in person at our next live person-to-person clinic.
See you again.
Cool. All right. EJ, I think you have something broken to share with us, yes?
Hello, hi, yes. So I'm EJ, or Elizabeth, and I'm based in London, in the UK.
Welcome, welcome.
I've been once to so I kept in touch with you guys through the restarters, because I've been to a clinic a few months ago with something else that was actually broken. So I am struggling with something rather than it being broken, I would say. A friend gave me an old MacBook Pro. He said he hadn't touched it for 4 years. I'd understood that it was 4 years old. I have since found out that it's a late 2011 computer. So I, first of all, tried, so it turned on perfectly, no problem at all. And then it was running super old software, talking about Mobile Me and just old stuff. So I thought, oh, really great. I'll do a software update. And then that was when my problem started. So I turned it off and was going to do a restart. And then I had the Apple logo and the spinning wheel and couldn't do anything else, stopped and started it. I didn't actually know how to do and how to search for, it's called safe mode, isn't it? So I'd seen people do it, but I tried to search login before whatever, start. I just didn't know how to do it. So I contacted Restarters and they told me how to do start safe mode. So I
wait, just a quick question. Do you care about the data that's on it right now?
Oh, no, it's all gone. All the data's gone.
Okay. Have you thought of doing like a drive wipe and reset and reinstall?
So I've got that far. So where I'm up to now is I have a beautiful working computer with Lion. So it's Lion 10.7.5, which basically I found I can't even load my email. I can't download Chrome. This computer only has a 4 gig memory. And when I look, when I try to have a look, I can see that it seems as though High Sierra should work on this late 2011.
Hang on. Quick question. Can I get the model number? I'm actually going to search up the latest operating systems for each Mac.
Yeah, that was what I tried to do. Okay, model number. So I've got, is it the MacBook Pro or do you want the actual?
I'll just take the model number. Thank you.
So, sorry, I don't know what model number. I've got MacBook Pro 13-inch late.
It's printed on the case on the outside of the box. There's a little tiny number. It usually starts with A or M or something like that. It's usually pretty hard to see.
So number A1278.
That's the one.
Unbelievable that I managed. I even brought my glasses to be able to see that. So yay! Well,
hang on, latest operating system.
Hang on, let me nap my glasses.
I have the same MacBook Pro. Still works fine. 2011 early edition. Have you started an internet restart, where you have to go to the internet to download the?
Yeah, so I've done that, and I'm now. So what I have, the thing I've managed to do is I did exactly. So I tried all the 4 options on the when there was the. So I now have basically a working computer, but what I can't do. So it's all sort of super old school, all of this, but I can't download Chrome because what I apparently don't have is I don't have enough memory to be able to download High Sierra, which would allow me, because I've only got 4 gigs.
How much memory do you have? Do you know?
4 gigs.
She said 4 gigs.
Oh, well then basically I mean, if you're willing to, they're very cheap. Just go to AG, just buy the chips for AG and install them yourself. It's very easy, very straightforward to do.
So that was basically.
These Chrome works. I'm running Chrome and Zoom right now on a machine with 4 gigs of memory from 2012.
So why can't I download High Sierra?
I don't think you do. I mean, this machine is running High Sierra. Yeah, it is running High Sierra. I have another machine that's from 2010 that still works fine too with all. I mean,
okay, so if I try and go and just see, there you go, download Chrome. So I tried to download Chrome.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys, if you can see it. And it basically, download Chrome, and it wouldn't let me. But hopefully, because I'm showing you guys, hopefully it'll work perfectly.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
Oh, thank you.
You're running Safari on the machine in order to download Chrome, right?
Yes, that's exactly it. Exactly that. So, okay, that looked like that worked. So let's see if I can open that. Sometimes it just needs the eyes of experts, I find.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's a thing. It's totally a thing.
Sorry.
Oh, that's a lovely thing when people bring things that actually work to fix the clinics, and we just
you just need the power of your eyes over the ocean.
So just another possibility, and I hope you get this working. But what to do with an old computer is an interesting question. If you're trying to run the latest software on the oldest computer, you'll probably be disappointed, right? Because it'll always be slower than the thing you can go to the store and buy. So you might want to repurpose it. And one thing I've been doing, if you need a computer that's just a browser or to run Netflix on or something, then I've been installing Chromium. So I put in the chat a link to Cloud Ready, or actually the company's Neverware. And so it turns an old computer into a Chromebook. So the whole Chrome thing has much more modest demands on the computer, so CPU and memory, and it does limited things. So, for example, duct taped to my Stairmaster is an old notebook that won't run the latest, greatest Windows because it's unworthy and it's a big clunky thing. But it runs cloud ready very nicely and lets me run a browser, and I can read the New York Times while I get my aerobic indoor social distancing exercise. Right, but I lowered my goals for this computer. I know it's pretty old. It's not going to run as nice as my newer computer, and it's not worth struggling to make it do that. So say, okay, this computer has a purpose. It runs a browser, right? It doesn't run as fast as other things. It's not where I'm going to do my 3D.
I have my old computer is now, my oldest computer is now the backup server in our house. So it's just a file server and backup server. You can also, there's all kinds of, you can also run Linux on any of these machines.
Right.
But again, a 2011 program, I use the newest computer in my house is like a 2013.
My wife still uses her 2011
Yeah,
Apple.
so you should be able to make this work. There's no reason it
And what are you running? What OS are you running, or OS X?
I have High Sierra on this machine.
So you managed to download Sierra. Okay, well,
The
maybe
one that I'm trying to think, the older one, the 2011 machine, is running the one before that, whatever it was called.
The Mac I have right now that I'm talking to you guys with is running Catalina.
So that's the newer one.
Yep, that's the latest one on the latest version.
And Cone, you looked at the a RAM kit. What was the price of that?
Hang on, let me check. I accidentally closed that tab.
Okay.
That's what the first gentleman said.
They're about $30-40.
Yeah, $35.99 for this RAM kit. It's to upgrade it to 8 gigabytes. That should be enough to run Chrome.
Right, but again, lots of people are running these same software on 4 gigabyte machines.
Yes.
So that's not the problem that's keeping you from running.
Actually, I had a laptop that ran so many programs with only 4 gigs of RAM. It was a old Lenovo IdeaPad.
Yeah.
So I should be able to upgrade to High Sierra, and then maybe I was So okay, that, and then otherwise
I believe so.
Great.
I don't think it should struggle with 4 gigs of RAM.
Yeah,
Macs are supposed to run for a long time without being changed.
Right. It should work with 4 gigs as long as you don't run too many apps at the same time.
Yeah, that's my other computer I do.
The most important thing to do is don't bring it to the Apple Store.
No. So, but I also
they'll shame you. They will shame you. They'll make you buy a new one. They'll say, you wouldn't want to use a 2011 Apple. What would your friends think? Of course, your friends.
Yeah, that's what they always tell me.
Right. Anybody have advice if you could get the RAM kit? Because more RAM will run faster. I mean, maybe you have to look at some system utilities to see, do I actually need more physical RAM?
What I did kind of to make my old 2011 run faster is not on the RAM side, but it's on the hard drive. So I replaced my old hard drive with a solid state hard drive.
Yeah.
And that really speeds things up.
Okay, can we back into the actual problem that he has, which is so the what happens when you try to run Chrome or install Chrome?
Okay, so I didn't manage, but now I have managed.
Okay.
Where's our bell? Can we have a bell?
So ding ding, amazing.
You've downloaded and installed Chrome now, and it runs.
Yes, because I couldn't even when I was trying to use Safari, I couldn't even open iCloud.com because it seemed to want to go to mobile me or something.
All right, we're going to give you a project to do on your own now. Come join this meeting via Zoom on your newly working Mac. Okay. Then we'll know you're with us. Peter says fixed. Okay. All right.
Okay, I guess it fixed itself.
Like we did anything. That's good.
No, Peter. We have to take credit.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go, EJ, play some more. See if you can get Zoom running and talk to us.
Okay, will do.
And honestly, if you do want to replace the RAM, increase the RAM, it's pretty easy. Some small screws, and gently pop out the old one, pop in the new one, put on your glasses, put on your readers. make sure you don't put it in upside down, backwards, whatever. And
there's a notch in the middle that will tell you like which way to put it in.
Right.
There's a notch on the RAM stick itself. You can't really mess that up.
Right. Now, unlike putting dowels into chairs, if it seems like you need a hammer to put it in, don't. Something's wrong. It's very wrong. So gentle, make sure things are lined up.
I'm ready.
So there'll be a YouTube. I can find that on YouTube. I'm sure.
Gosh, it's
probably.
Okay, thank you very much, guys.
This
That's
is a
amazing.
common human activity now, upgrading our RAM. We do this.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I've done it like
butter, but we
2 or
upgrade
3 times on my iMac already.
Absolutely. All right. Well, she's on mute. Who was next with the broken thing? I've lost track. Who's got something for us? I have 2 pages of people now. Raise your hand, come off mute. Tell me if you've got a broken thing.
I see Shova is raising her hand.
Shova, there you are, Shova. All right, thank you. Hi. There, you are unmuted. Awesome.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Shova.
Where are you joining us from?
I'm in San Mateo, California.
Okay.
And I have a broken table. It's not broken, actually. It's a little bit wobbly. I got it from my friend when we went into the shelter in place here in California, probably 3 weeks ago or so. I'm using that as my work desk. It works fine. I just wanted to know how to fix the wobbliness.
Awesome. Can you show us where it wobbles and get your
Yes.
Get your
so let's
icon up
see.
there?
Let me see how this works.
Yeah, this is the challenge. Ooh, it's a pretty table. No, that's not the table.
Yeah, so this is the table actually. So it's at the bottom. I think it's too dark, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I should get my flashlight.
Or
Can we flip the table upside down?
Yeah.
That's the easiest
I
way.
think we could see it better that way.
That'd be the easiest thing.
Okay, let's see.
Without hurting yourself.
You're getting your weight training in for the day. It's good.
I know.
That's good. Be careful. Bend your knees.
Okay. I see. Okay, so it's upside down now.
Oh, you just need to tighten a bolt.
I know. It's pretty easy. Okay, cool. That's fixed. Okay, so I'll just tighten the bolt, and I think that should work.
That was
You now have a new thing.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
In the troubleshooting list is to make sure that you turn it upside down first.
I would be careful not to over tighten. Depending on the type of material, I can't quite tell if that's like a fiberboard faux wood thing. It can potentially strip. So just tighten it, and if it starts going too far, stop, see where it goes. There's other fixes if it is stripped. That's not the end of the world, but
don't apply too much pressure.
Right. Just nice and gently tighten it, and then put it back upright and see how it goes. You might be able to get away with not having to like really crank down on it.
What sort of screw does it have?
Probably hex.
Looks like a machine screw.
It is. Can you see it? Maybe I could do. Oh, let me turn the camera around.
Oh, the other screw.
That's helpful.
Here, it's too dark.
That is hex. Yep. That is a hex screw.
You have the right screwdriver for that, Shova?
Oh, yes, I have fix it. I fix it toolkit. I think that should work.
That should cover you.
Okay. Don't use the little tiny one, but yeah, go try it and go do the wobble test and get back to us because we're delighted to see how this works out.
I would take the screw all the way out.
Okay.
And then what?
Then screw it back. Yeah.
Take the screw all the way out. It might be going into a steel insert, in which case you could really tighten it.
Oh, so you're saying do a little disassembly, inspect what you've got here to see how much you can crank on it.
Actually, those steel inserts, if you tighten them too hard, you can just pull it straight out of the wood.
That's true.
Because they have little knobby things inside into the wood.
It's possible to do that.
Yeah.
Then
You might
glue it back in if you need to.
You might put a drop of glue, just a drop of glue between the mating surfaces, and that'll keep it from wobbling initially, and it's the initial wobble that causes the nut to loosen and this kind of stuff. So if you do that, just a drop.
Would that be like a super glue or a wood glue?
Wood glue.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do.
Take up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Just tighten it up and see where the wobble happens. Looking really, really close at it, and you can see where the space is. But yeah, go do that, and then tell us we're here. Go try it.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
And if you need glue or parts, Hassett's on Delaware you can order and pick up there. You don't have to go into the store.
Here, use my.
Perfect. That's an easy one. Okay, great. Nice.
Okay,
Thank you.
Got it? Good. All right.
Awesome. Great.
All right.
Thanks.
Fixed. All right.
I'll let you know when it's all fully done.
Yeah, it has to.
Okay.
All right.
Shova, do you want to show us your laptop hinge now too? Shova, do you want to show us the laptop hinge, or do you want to wait for that?
Yeah. So I'm a little with the laptop hinge. I can show it, but since it's a work laptop, I just want to make sure I'm more cautious about it if I have to get into it. I mean, would you like me to show it just to show it?
Okay,
yeah.
if you can real fast, yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Go. Well, okay. I thought maybe. Do we have anybody else queued up though for another fix it? Another fix? Who have we got? Unmute yourself and say something.
What? Can you put us in a breakout room on our broken hinge?
You want to try that?
That's a smart idea. That's probably a smart idea. Let's try it.
And then you can go on to somebody else.
I'll make sure. All right. I will create a breakout room, and I will call it what? Let's see. I'll call it.
You talk about exactly what you're doing to create a breakout room.
All right.
Wayne, this is my suggestion for all these projects. Have a show of people, 3 people that can contribute and break out to make the throughput higher.
No, I agree. We just don't have that many projects to bother right now. But if we had our usual 10 projects, it would be great. So who wants to go in the breakout room with Shova?
I will.
Okay. So let's see. So Mark,
I will.
Who's I?
Greg.
Greg. A second. How does this work?
I don't know. Why don't you fix it?
Oh.
Just don't pick random assignment to a breakout room. It's going to ask you how many you want to make.
Right.
And then you'll be able to manually assign to a breakout room.
All at once. So Mark and Shova, and what's the other name?
I'm Greg.
Greg.
Guys,
Greg.
we've got 10 minutes left. Does this really make sense to do this?
Oh, we don't have 10 minutes left. We can go as long as we want.
You know, you want to leave while everybody's still having fun. You don't want to wear everybody out.
Well,
that way they'll want to come back.
Right. Do we have
Well,
another repair to do other than Shova's hinge? Do we have another project?
I think that we should try the breakout room just to try it to see how well it works.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good idea.
All right, I'm going to put Peter in there then as the observer. Bye, Peter. No, he doesn't want to.
Put everybody in their own breakout room.
I can go in the breakout room if you want. I know breakout rooms.
Breakout rooms on Zoom to avoid any conversation. That's really good. All right, so I'll put you guys in that room. If you want, you can come back instantly. Just click a thing. All right. So Shova, Mark, and Greg, you're in a breakout room. There you go. All right. And cool. How many people did I put in there?
3. There were 26, and now there's 23 participants.
Okay, that works.
Unless somebody just left at the same time.
No. All right. I feel kind of weird about that now. Like, what are they talking about?
They can choose to come back in anytime.
And I think as a host, I can
Probably talking about you, Wayne.
Oh no!
Okay.
Get some hair.
So I
got extra. You can have some of mine.
Yeah, you are growing quite a.
My hair cutting place is closed. I don't know.
Wayne, looks like Pat maybe has something.
Pat.
I have a request. If you could put me in a breakout room with Natalia, then she could show me how to make a mask, or anybody else that wants to learn how to make a mask.
Well, that's a good thing. Natalia said, show us your mask again, Natalia. They were very pretty. If you would like to have a quick lesson on how to make one of these, we can make a breakout room from that. Anybody interested? Pat is.
Nobody else is going to wear a mask?
Let you guys play for a while if someone else wants to. All right, here we go. Breakout room.
Sylvain. Okay.
They wants to.
EJ's in.
And EJ.
Now, can I create a new room?
Is it only the host that has these controls to make the room? Is that...
Yeah, apparently. That makes it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So I can join a breakout room, but I can't create a new one.
No, it's you do it once. You create all the rooms at once.
That's weird.
Yeah, I imagine that Zoom was probably working on a feature to make this better, but they announced they're not doing any new development before they actually fix their security catastrophe.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's good.
All right. Well, they'll pop out and we'll do it again. So Greg, Mark, and Shova. Okay. This is where you need an extra host then to manage all this, because this gets wacky.
Wayne, you should be able to, and I don't know if this can be done after the meeting has started, you should be able to assign or add other hosts to the meeting. I don't know. I haven't done it, but there is
You
an
can add
option.
co-hosts during the meeting.
Co-hosts, yeah, during the meeting.
Peter and I try this. I'm actually using my University of Colorado Boulder account, and co-hosts have to also be part of that account.
Right, I'm on Harvard. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, well, you could do a hostile takeover of CU Boulder.
We could.
Cheap. It's really cheap right now.
We'll get you for a good discount, yeah.
Get some of those B School guys on it. Sounds good.
Oh, yeah, they're not doing anything right now.
Convertible debentures or something. That'd be great. All right, I'm going to bring these guys back in and recreate the rooms. And all rooms will close in 60 seconds. Oh, gosh. All right.
Okay.
You know what?
Well, it's all good practice.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Natalia, I could always learn more about sewing. Give us a quick demo. How do you cut the pattern? And I'll unmute you. Just get us started. Well, these guys are going to come in. It's going to be awkward for them. They probably got a pop-up that says, Wayne has dragged you back into this version of this virtual reality. All right. Okay. Obviously, I haven't used breakout rooms before. Sorry. Now I realize you need to create a list of them, give them some reasonable names, and then you can.
Natalia's on mute.
Natalia's on mute. I'll unmute her. All right. They'll be here in a second. But is there a website we should look at, Natalia, for the pattern? Or did you make this up yourself?
There are plenty of resources on YouTube, but I didn't use any of them because, well, it's pretty easy. And there are dozens of ways of making those masks. So just pick your favorite one. So I'll show you.
1 second, Natalia. So Greg, Shova, and Mark, so we wanted to add a second breakout room. It turns out Zoom doesn't let you do that. So you have to do your breakout rooms first, then assign people. You can't add another room. So we're going to have another breakout room on how to make a mask. Would you guys like to watch a demo from Natalia on how to sew a mask, or do you want to go work on your hinge separately? Oh, Greg, you're on mute. What'd you say?
Oh, I said that I have a sister that makes masks.
Oh, right.
So I'm set.
You're set. Let me go recreate the room again, and we'll try. This is actually a good learning experience for me. I'll create a couple of rooms, and we'll go play with them. All right. So 1 sec. I'll try this again. All right. Breakout room 1. Add a room. Okay. So this is notebook hinge. This one. I should share my screen so you guys can see this. That'd be good. Here, I'll share my my screen. Now you can see yourselves. So this one we'll call it sewing masks, right? Then I'll add another room, which is something else. Another room. Right? And options. Countdown. Breakout rooms, I'll make it close. Okay. Someone's annotating. Thank you. You can please annotate. You can draw a nice smiley face. And so let's see. Those guys are still there. So sewing masks, I'll put in Natalia and Pat. Anybody else going to go in the sewing room? Marty wants to go in. EJ wants to go in, but I can't see everybody's face. So say something. Unmute yourself and say something.
How do we get it back into the rooms?
You just press a button that says you get out of it.
I mean, how do we go into it?
I'm assigning you.
Okay. It
So
seems like you have a sign, but
yeah, I have to say open all rooms. Ready?
okay. Yeah.
Here they go. Ta-da.
Okay then.
All right. Now I stop sharing because sharing the thing. All right. So that's cool.